we should start with your, post-IPO period.
So, Manoj, 1 year since we went public, I think May 30th, 2024. Obviously, since the IPO, there's been significant growth in the company. Um, we raised about 600 odd crores that were there in the IPO, out of which about roughly 130 was primary, rest of it was secondary capital. It obviously, allowed us to continue our network expansion to tier 2 cities, where we were seeing immense growth and potential that was happening there. Obviously, with the influx of the capital, we have been able to invest in technology, product innovation, enhancing our network, experience, operational efficiency, and so on.
In terms of real estate seeing a boom in India, and especially in Q1, there was some bit of a slowdown in affordable market, but overall, the real estate market is booming in India. So how has that overall, positive environment affected your company?
So, Manoj, if you look at the overall commercial real estate, last year was one of the best in our history, right? Almost 80 million square feet of gross leasing was done, and that translated about 16 million of flex or co-working space leasing, right? Which is again the highest. I mean, we were a 25 million square foot industry in 2020. Today we sit at somewhere around 70 odd million, and out of that, almost 16 million got added in just a single year. So I think it's tremendously grown the industry. Today also, if you look at quarter on quarter, we are growing at roughly about 20% CAGR. That clearly, which was a sunrise industry, is I think getting to an established industry in the overall ecosystem. And then obviously we having a market leadership position. We clearly, have when it comes to network, we are the largest, 210 live locations. We're going on to about another with fit outs and LOI, another 40 odd locations, so about 250 odd locations across 19 cities. And this is we added in FY25, we added about 39,000 seats, taking our total live seats out of today to 135,000.
How much is the potential scope in tier 1?
So tier 1 is clearly established, right? I mean, I don't need to sell somebody Pune or Chennai, right? I mean, they're well-established markets for various type of companies. Every company has figured out what works for them in a specific market, right? SaaS companies go to Chennai, more, IT, AI, research-oriented companies go to Bangalore and Hyderabad, right? So now, interestingly enough, in tier 2 cities, every tier 2 city is behaving a bit differently, right? And it's now related to how supportive the government is, and how quickly how much the developer community is willing to buy what the government is trying to kind of sell, right? I mean, and I say that with a lot of merit, because I think if you go to a state like Madhya Pradesh, right, Indore has done significantly well as an IT hub, right? I mean, for TCS, Wipro over there. Today, you talk about any company of merit, they would have a location in Indore for sure, right? It could be a Cognizant, it could be a Accenture, it could be Teleperformance. All of them, Genpact, all of them have established their center. You go to Jaipur, it's similar, right? I mean, where there are a lot of these companies that are there. But then there are challenges, right? I mean, there are cities where, like a place like Coimbatore, there is no supply. And if you don't have any compliant supply, no large, occupier will come.
How is Awfis catering to the growing demand of GCC?
So, Manoj, as I said, about 1,500 odd GCCs were there in 23. Today, they're projected to be about 2,400 as per various reports that are out there. It's looking to become a very large market when it comes to the ITS companies. And I think what's changed fundamentally is that earlier, only the large Fortune 100 companies, 200 companies were looking at India, right? Today, even a sub $5 billion company is looking to expand into India. And we clearly tiered out the product, right? So we had flagship, we had gold, and elite was specifically launched for GCCs, for those discerning customers that basically could use us as an option, right? And I think to that end, we have in Hyderabad, when we opened the first center, we have ABC Fitness, Dhruva Software, Meltwater, Barry Calbot. These are all the companies that have taken space there, anywhere between 50 to 500 odd seats, right? And we are continuing to see demand for, this expanding in Bangalore, in Pune, in Delhi.
What is your goal for the company in the next 5 years?
I don't think I have the ability to predict 5 years, right? I mean, there are too many external factors that go into play that I can predict. But what I can do as a company, I can build the best quality team that's ever been built, and I feel that we have already achieved that. I think we are one of the best teams in the world, probably in the co-working space. Second, you have to build your own moats, right? I think with this managed aggregation, where we have kind of made this completely asset light, I think we have made a company that can last any kind of economic cycles, right? Up or down, right? We have made it enough resilient that the company can weather any shocks that come into the system, right? And most of my competition cannot. That's the honest truth. Third, we have we built the network, right? I mean, that was the most important thing over the last few years. Once you build the network, how do you kind of get more out of that network? And I think we today, with having the 3,000 companies which sit with us, various products, as I mentioned, design and build, our transportation solution, our food and beverage, cafeteria management service, furniture business, all of this is the building blocks for the next 5 years.